Hey gang, what's up? Welcome back here to another edition of The Fishing Teacher, and much appreciated you guys checking the video out. Always grateful for that. Today guys, we're going to be talking about night fishing. We're going to be talking about some techniques for catching fish at night, talk a little bit about how it is and everything, sort of give you guys my opinion on it. So this is something I've got quite a bit of experience in, because back in my wild days, back when I was a teenager, guys, I used to sneak into farm ponds all the time, and got ran out of farm ponds by farmers all the time because we could never get any farmers to let us fish their ponds. And a couple of buddies and I, we were 15, 16 years old. We just wanted to fish. We just wanted to catch fish. We couldn't afford to go to a lake. We didn't have a boat. So it was worth it getting chased out of these farm ponds by farmers. So we figured that if we snuck in at night at the farm ponds, we wouldn't get caught as much. Although we did get caught unbelievably. I don't know how, but we got run out a couple times like that. And but anyway, it gave me a lot of experience at night fishing in ponds. And then I took that, once I did get a boat, I did a lot of night fishing early on when I was younger, because I fished the Bass Club in Joplin, Missouri, and it was a lot of older guys in there, and they didn't like to fish during the daytime. These guys did not like to fish. If it got 70 degrees, it was too hot for them. So they were always wanting to fish at night. And we fished most of our club tournaments at night. So for about a 5 or 6 year period, I got a lot of night fishing experience. So given that, let's talk a little bit about it. First of all, night fishing is by far a lot better than day fishing. The bass or fish, catfish, I don't care what you're fishing for, the fishing is always better at night, unless it's the winter time. If the water temperatures are anything over, 60 degrees or so, fishing's always good at night. And it's sort of my theory on bass fishing in general, that predator fish, I think they do most of their feeding at night. I think a lot of the reasons you catch fish during the daytime are other reasons as far as why bass or fish strikes a lure. But I think at night, there's a lot of active feeding going on. And that's why, you can catch so many, because the fish move shallower, they get aggressive, they're undercover, they're easier to fool. And one of the reasons it's not a theory, it's sort of proven to me a couple of different times. I think that a lot of fish that live in deep water, that you would catch in really deep water during the daytime, move to the bank at night shallow and feed. Because there's been several times where I was fishing for suspended fish at Table Rock Lake, at Table Rock, a lot of times these fish will suspend 20, 30 foot deep, over 50 or 60 feet deep. And I remember several times where I was fishing a drop shot vertical for suspended bass and catching them over 50 or 60 foot of water suspended, just out over nothing. And they would have crawdad pinchers sticking out of their throat. Obviously, they didn't get a crawdad just swimming out in open water like that. They had to be on the bottom somewhere. And I don't know if there's many crawdads that live 50 feet deep. So it was my theory that the fish swam to the bank at night, fed a little bit, and then went out and suspended during the daytime. So anyway, given that, let's talk a little bit about how to catch them. To me, the best way to catch a bass or any type of fish at night that's a game fish is on a spinnerbait, a black spinnerbait. My favorite is something like a 1/2 ounce black skirt, normally with some type of a Colorado blade on it. Blade color doesn't seem to make much difference. Some guys like a black blade, but I've caught just as many on like a gold blade. But some type of a single number 5, number 6 Colorado spinnerbait is by far the best bait. Throwing it right up on the bank, fishing it from the bank down to maybe 5 or 6 feet. On those same type of areas, the big plastic worm has got to be second. Some type of like a 8 to 10 inch worm, some type of black or June bug, red bug, something like that. Throwing it right up on the bank, working it down, less than 5 foot of water, making another cast. Some of the best areas fish at night, you can't go wrong with points. If you just fish a lot of main lake secondary points with a spinnerbait and a worm, you're going to catch some. If you have boat docks and the boat docks have lights on them, that's always a magnet to them. But most of the time, you can just about go anywhere. There's very few areas as far as the bank structures that you can't get bit in there, because these fish are up shallow and they're cruising at night looking for fish, looking for food. So from that standpoint, just do that. So another big factor with that is one of the things at night you want to sort of look for is try to find sort of the cleanest water in your area there. The clearer the water, the better your night fishing is going to be. If you're on a dirty water lake, your night fishing is not going to be as productive. So I like to have at least 3 foot of clarity. Ideally, I like 4 to 6 foot of clarity. Clear water is going to be definitely better at night fishing for that. And a lot of people debate over a full moon or no moon, that type of stuff. I haven't seen it make that much difference. The quality of fishing that you're going to have at night varies night to night. It's just like some nights you'll go out there and just catch them all the time, and some nights it's a little tougher, but normally it's always better than daytime fishing. So anyway, guys, if you're struggling, give it a try. Try night fishing. Doesn't matter if you're catfishing, crappie fishing, bass fishing, or whatever. They're just going to be feeding more. So hope it helps out. We'll see you guys.